Hold on, Levon. I don't know why all of a sudden the view is showing different on the screen. Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show, coming to you from sunny South Florida. We're episode 123. On episode 123, joining me today is my co-host, actually, my friend, Levon Harvey. Levon, appreciate you coming on today, my friend.
No problem at all, man.
Hey, listen, a lot to discuss. I mean, we're going to tackle a couple of things. We're probably going to go all over the place, honestly. I know I want to recap NCAA Championship Game, which was just a straight smacking between Baylor and Gonzaga. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Major League Baseball with their opening week. You know, Major League Baseball just is great. I don't know if you guys saw on social media, I went on a big fucking rant about, you know, my games being suspended and because of COVID and shit like that. we'll talk about that. We're gonna cover Paul Pierce. I know me and you spoke off air about this. Paul Pierce and how he pretty much risked it all for 315 viewers on IG. So we'll speak on that, and then we'll touch a little bit about, what did I say? Oh, sports debating being dead. So we'll finish up on that. I know there's a couple other things that we'll touch that we'll also talk about, but let's get right into it. Let's start talking about it. Talk about national title game between Baylor and Gonzaga. Give me your thoughts on that game, LeVon.
Well, it's kind of wild because I had Gonzaga. If you go back, a month and a half ago, I had Gonzaga winning it all. Right? Not a hot take. And they're blowing teams out. Like I said, their defense wasn't always great, but their offense was superb. So the fact that they the spread was only 4.5 for my gamblers out there, but the fact that they let Baylor push them around like that, it's almost as if Baylor should have been like they were. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss of words. I mean, I thought Baylor would beat them, obviously, by double digits, because they've been setting that tone for the whole year. And they just really went out there and said, absolutely not. You're not about to go undefeated for the entire year and win the game that counts the most. So, congrats to Baylor, but, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Look, I was with you. I was with you on Gonzaga, and then, you know what? And I've said this story on here before. There's a kid that I know, and he's the biggest mush I've ever met in my life. And if mush for some reason comes across my screen or comes across my text messages or my area or whatever, and he likes something, I'm going the opposite way. I don't give a fuck what it is. And then all of a sudden, everybody and their mother was Gonzaga. And I was like, and I saw Mush later that day before the game had started. And Mush was like, yeah, I'm on the Zags. And I was like, there's no fucking way that my money's touching your money. So I literally I took everything with Baylor. I first half it, spread money line game. Second half it with the 6.5. Money lined it with the 6.5 with the second half. I literally I slammed it. I slammed it every way imaginable. Mush, I appreciate you. You know who you are. I know you listen to the show. I love you so much. Also, a shout out to, as you can see, I'm wearing this Jordan Paris Saint-Germain jersey. Paris ended up beating Bayern Munich yesterday. They were plus 250, plus 255, wherever you could find them. And I took that, and they won 3-2, and I was loving life yesterday, to be honest with you. So far, this week has been a really good start to the week for me. And like you said earlier, LeVon, I was on Gonzaga too in the beginning. I just felt it. I just thought Gonzaga was a wagon, and then something just told me, don't go with Mush. Don't do it. Your money and Mush's money cannot be in the same pile. And it worked out for me. I literally, because the whole world, I'm telling you, though, there was not a person I know taking Baylor. Not one person that I know took Baylor.
There's a reason why they have it. They call them the sharks and they call them the fish. I mean, for these big games, it's not outlandish to say, look, man, all the public money is going towards this side. Just go the other way. We're going back to the Super Bowl for the most part. I mean, yeah, Brady's a GOAT, we get it. But the spread's 3 points. Looks suspect. I was on the Chiefs, don't get me wrong. But all the money's going over to the Chiefs. Just go with the dog, right? And mind you, these aren't big dogs. These dogs aren't that big. These are small dogs. Right? Last big game they had was 3 points in the Super Bowl, and this game was 4.5.
Yo, Zags had no chance at all from the get-go. I mean, I had a buddy of mine who had a prop bet on a player from Gonzaga, I think Nathan Hart or whatever his name is, to score over 9.5 points. He's like, he's definitely going to do this. He literally landed on 9 points the whole game, like sweating a half a point for like 8 minutes. Nothing happened.
That's so gross. And betting will do that to you. That'll get you gray and have you losing some hair. So I stopped a little bit to get some hair back.
It's terrible. I mean, let's see. Maybe, you never know. Baylor might run the table next year too. They're a really, really good team. I think they have what they need in order to do it, and let's see if it ends up happening. I know Gonzaga's the favorite to run it back next year, or to get there next year, actually, to win a championship. So we'll end up seeing how it goes. NCAA March Madness was well missed from the year before where they didn't have COVID. Put it this way, I even enjoyed the women's game. I was watching some of those women's games. Some of those women's games were good.
I was tapped in, so that was interesting.
Shout out to those girls out there doing it, man. They was killing it. They're literally becoming inspirations for little girls around the world. And you know what? They bring attitude and they bring skill too. So shout out to them. I really do appreciate the entertainment, the level of entertainment that they were out there showing during their Final Four and during their NCAA tournament as well. Major League Baseball, dude. Major League Baseball. We're going to start off. I got a little clip, Levon. I know you're not going to be able to see it. I told you we discussed it earlier. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if it works for me. It might not work because I'm still trying to learn this whole OBS thing or whatever, but it's not even working, so I'm not even going to bother with it. But anyway, it's literally the Mets versus Marlins, my team versus your team today. Your team is beating us. Literally, they're up 2-1. We end up tying the game in the ninth. We end up getting the bases loaded. And Conforto's up, and Bash, your reliever, throws a beautiful pitch. That's a strike. And Conforto just sticks his little elbow out, ends up getting hit by the pitch slightly. It grazes his elbow pad, and it ends up being a walk-off hit by pitch blown save for your reliever. Don Mattingly was frustrated. As a fan of baseball, that's a strike. That's a strikeout. But as a fan of the Mets, that's a win. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm always on the wrong side of that shit. It always happens to me. I'm glad it happened for me today, Levon.
Look, hey, it is what it is. This is just another rule for the league to bring to, the officers to the table and figure out for the next year. Maybe not even next year. Maybe this year. But it's probably going to be next year since it's mid-season. But I'm not a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was my team or not. But like you said, though, we'll take it if it's a win. But overall, for the game, right? If any part of your body's in the strike zone, right? Then, and the ball hit, that's like, I told you earlier, that's like me going in front of the plate, turning my back to the ball, and the ball hit me. Well, because it hit me, I got to go to I get a walk. I get to go to first base. If it's in the strike zone and it hits you, that's a strike. You need to back up. You need to get your arm out of there. You're out. I don't like it. I do not like it.
I mean, yeah, illegal, that means legal, illegal, whatever. It's like a gray area because the batter's box, you're hunched over the batter's box. You're trying to get as much plate coverage as possible with your bat. So in all actuality, there's body parts that are going to lean over home plate. But no, these guys, they wear elbow pads, they wear shin guards, shin pads, whatever, to protect themselves now, hand pads and all types of stuff. And if he didn't have an elbow guard, it probably doesn't hit him. But he had an elbow guard, it grazed him. The umpire did call strike and then realized that, oh shit, it did hit it. I have to call him.
You know what? Something just came to my mind. So what's the rule again? If the catcher's mitt is across the plate,
catcher's interference. Catcher's interference.
In the back hits the glove. What is that?
Catcher's interference. I mean, listen, I just want to update you. The umpire did come out after the game and admit wrong. He said he should have called Conforto out. He said Conforto should have been called out on strike 3. So he did admit wrong. So right then and there's nothing else you can say about it. It's just human error.
Okay.
It's just a mistake.
But now, you cost somebody a game. And that's what hurts, though, because when it comes to, not that we're going to be in contention or anything, but when it comes to the last, are we been 160 games this year?
Yeah, playing a full season,
fam. 155, 156, 150, those last couple games, and everybody's sweating, trying to get into the wild card. There's 2 positions in, the division champion. Those games count, man. So it's like, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate, but, catcher's interference, batters, interference on his elbow. You got to figure this out, man.
I've been enjoying opening week. Just to give you a quick recap on what's going on throughout there, just real quick. I mean, there's been excellent pitching between Berrios up in Minnesota. He was throwing a no-hitter. He ended up taking him out. DeGrom, an ace, gave up nothing in 6 innings. Bauer ended up striking out 10. Even though he gave up 4 runs in Colorado, he was throwing a no-hitter through 6 innings too. So there was really, really good pitching. There's a lot of guys that are hot right now. Acuna's getting hot. Buxton, I think, has like 4 or 5 home runs on the season already out in Minnesota. Trout is getting hot. He hit a home run today again. Like, Correa's doing his thing. There's so many players in Major League Baseball that are just coming out and they're just showing out like, look at me. I'm here. Yeah, they're literally like, look at me, I'm here to stay. There's some guys, some teams that are just looking like shit straight out the gate coming out of spring training. I mean, the A's are like 1-6. Whatchamacallit, Atlanta doesn't look too good. It's crazy because you don't really think that. The Cubs look like shit. Cincinnati's on fire. Shout out to the Reds over there in Cincinnati, Ohio. Them boys. Oh, so real quick, and I want to discuss this with you. I know you saw it, but Nick Castellanos, who's the Reds outfielder, ended up getting suspended 2 games for inciting a brawl that wasn't a brawl. He literally he hit a home run, was hyping up his team, got hit by a pitch the next game in the ribs, right? Asked Yadier Molina wasn't intentional. Yanni said it wasn't. He said okay. He went to first base. He ended up coming around on a wild pitch, scoring and sliding into home head first. Got up, flexed on the pitcher, because it's the same pitcher that he just took 96 to the ribs to. Bench is clear. And then a day later, he gets suspended for 2 games. I mean, he's still playing because he's appealing, but it's a fucking crock of shit. What are you suspending him 2 games for?
Well, they're getting softer and softer every year. Well, baseball is sensitive. They are so sensitive. Bro, you can't even flex now?
How? That's what we need to see. You should have seen the bat flip that Jeff McNeil did today after he hit the home run. He could have flipped that shit into the crowd. That's how hyped he was. That's what we need. It's a different era. Let me explain something to you. I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine before I came on air. There are certain people that are just so old school that they need to get the fucking toilet tissue out of their ass. Like they're the people that make the decisions that Nolan Ryan shouldn't get in 100% in the Hall of Fame, or Ken Griffey Jr. or Ricky Henderson shouldn't be 100% voted. These are these old motherfuckers that are still making these stupid ass judgments on baseball. They need to get with the times.
Yeah, I feel like these guys have been playing hopscotch for a while. They're cool one day it's a huge deal. The next day they'll let one backflip slide. The next day they're up in arms about a wink. These guys need to just settle down. Eventually they'll all die off. I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately. And we'll get some newer bodies in office, but it's out of hand how they're up in arms for everything that takes place. They're not adapting to the times. And that's what's holding them back, right?
Listen to me.
This is the sport. We're whole sport, but they need to loosen up.
Bauer striking out a dude is staring at him or stunting on him, and then the guy coming back 2 innings later and hitting a bomb off of him. That's what people want to see. Like, stop trying to take that away from us. Like, oh, don't do that. It's an unreal. Man, fuck that shit. Magnify it.
Yeah, that's like an NBA player doing a slam dunk and they can't flex or anything like that. Like, you gonna throw them out the game for that?
Nah, it's retarded.
Somebody's hit or stolen base is their slam dunk, bro. Let them be, man.
But Major League Baseball opening week so far has been great. I mean, we got teams that are doing well. We got teams that are struggling. It's early. It's still early in the season, of course. It's still early in the season. But, it's good to actually have baseball coming along. I personally feel like, and this is just a little bit on your team especially, I have an ace in my team. We know that. I mean, best pitcher in baseball, arguably. But your team, Sandy Alcantara, without a doubt, is a fucking stud to every definition. Like, every letter in the word stud, he defines it.
And he's doing great so far. He flashed signs of it, last year. But keep in mind, Marlon's going to do Marlon things, right? Maybe not because Jeter's, at the helm now, but by next year, we're going to let him go. But let me be positive. We don't like good players. We don't like players that we bring up from the farm system, we develop, we start getting a good chemistry with. We get the juices flowing, and our biggest thing is, hey, let's let him go. Why? Couldn't tell you, but hey, I'm not hoping for that for your team. Well, we'll enjoy him this year, and the Yankees will pick him up or something next
year. Oh, so. Jesus Christ, that's brutal.
Facts only.
That's brutal. I know we had to discuss a little bit about this Paul Pierce situation. LeVon. First off, let me get your take on it first. I want to hear what you think about it.
Well, first of all, you gotta think, man. You gotta think before you act. Paul, that was irresponsible of him, right? I'm gonna get into what everybody wants to hear, what I kind of really think. First, let's be honest. That's irresponsible. You can't have strippers shaking their booties and you smoking a blunt and like for what? Like it doesn't matter how many views you got. It doesn't matter whether you got 3,000 views or 300 views like you had. It doesn't matter. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, when I do this, what do I have to gain? What do I have to gain and what do I have to lose? You gotta think about that before you do something like that, right?
Agreed.
Now, on the other hand, this is not something I thought of. This is something I saw a meme about, and it's pretty interesting. How Unc, aka Shannon Sharp, he's got the Hennessy, he's got the black, he got the skill. That's okay when he does it, right? It's a prop, but it's not really a prop. He's really got the stuff on. That's real stuff on set.
Right.
But then you got to think about it. ESPN, I think they own Fox, but at the same time, you just got to think, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not that guy, especially, right? It's not like Stephen A. did it, right? If Stephen A. did it, he's not getting let go.
Right. So
get out of here.
So here's my thing. First off, I'm gonna go to the comedy side of this. So first off, them strippers wasn't even that. They was like, they were bad. Like I'm gonna give a plug to Diamond Dogs and Cheetah over here in Florida. You know what I'm saying? In Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach. Yo, you can find better looking girls, no lie. It's right, like local. Diamond Dogs and Cheetah. Diamond Dogs is in Pompano and Cheetahs is in Fort Lauderdale. So plug them, okay? Paul, you should be ashamed of yourself with the level of entertainment that you are around. Honestly, I'm disappointed. Now, in all seriousness, going on the serious side, if Paul's gonna go this route, he is going to be blackballed by the NBA. He could forget the Hall of Fame. He could forget everything else. It's done. It's a wrap. If you're going to go that route where you're going to create that type of adult entertainment with sports, you're going to get blackballed. I'm just telling you right now it's going to happen. You might as well go join Portnoy. Shout out to them and them boys at Barstool. They do a great job of being everything that they want to be and not what other people want them to be. So Paul Pierce, if you want to do that, you go in that lane. But if you go in that lane, you're not going to be able to fucking come back. They ain't going to let Disney, ESPN, the Hall of Fame, NBA, that you can forget all that shit. That shit is not coming. It's a wrap.
And it's unfortunate because, and let's be honest, we all see that picture where he was trying to tap in with his youth. The liquor and the blunt got to him. Because what he's doing, guys, in the African-American community, the picture he took, he was doing a light skin stare in the photo, trying to bite his lip, bug the guy around. Like, yo, man, like, I'm cool. Like, you're grown, though, you're in your 40s, bro. You gotta let it go. You have to let it go. He's doing a light skin stare, and, the light skin stare does not work when you're old as hell. Your cheeks are droopy, your eyes look red, and you're trying to, like, be sexy. First of all, you're not a sexy dude. Pause. I don't care. I'm just a kid. You're not even... It's a bad look. He had the new school box haircut. It just didn't work out.
You couldn't tell all that LeVon by the level of beauty that was surrounding him was disappointing.
Yeah, in that part. And then the next day he comes on, bigger things to come, man. Nah, bro, you're cooked. Like, bro, just save it, bro. Can you imagine, like, what as an ESPN friend or an associate? What do you say to him? Like, man, you're a dumbass. Like, what do you text him? Like, that's unfortunate. You can't text him like, I'm so sorry this happened. You probably got to text like, bruh, are you dumb? Like, you're stupid, man. Take care. You gotta think, man. You're letting these two like 5.5, 6 chicks, and mess up your bread. I mean, I know you're good, but every million counts. We see how these players go broke. Antoine Walker and many more, right? It's not just him, many more. You gotta be smarter than that, man. Get your couple $100,000 a year with this gig you like to do. Now you're just over there. Now you're at the crib chilling, like acting like life is Get out of here, man.
LeVon, Cam and Marcus Mack and myself, we have a segment that we used to do back in the days. It was called Derlick of the Day. So, Paul Pierce, you're the Derlick of the Day without question for that stupidity. Yeah. Now, this subject is a subject that you and I spoke about. Marcus spoke about. I know he wanted to come on and he wanted to talk about it, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. But sports debating. And the subject is, and I've said this, that I feel like sports debating is dead. That's my take on it. That's my opinion. That sports debating, in my opinion, is finished. Now, you got Stephen A. Smith, OG, Max Kellerman, he's part of that group. Skip Bayless, OG, Shannon Sharp, he's part of that group. You got a few others that do it, first things first, or whatever it may be, or first come first. I forgot what that shit is called. But anyway, to me, the OGs, they do it. They're the best at it. And after that, it's going to be a wrap. Nobody else is going to do it like how they did it, right? To me, no one is interested in who's right and who's wrong. LeVon, you can have your opinion. I can have mine. You can have your rights. You can have your wrongs. I can have mine. At the end of the day, you could go smoke a blunt and have a good time with you and your family, and I can sit here and chill and have a glass of wine and some water or whatever it may be. I'm not going to sit here and make it a competition to go back and forth with you on a daily basis to prove you wrong and prove me right or vice versa. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, now it's about vibing and vibe material. Like, it's all about that. It's about enjoying the content, not screaming at the top of the lungs. And the reason why this subject came up is shout out to Brandon Marshall and their I Am Athlete podcast. They do a great job. But to have that much energy and passion in something that you do and be screaming at the top of your lungs where your veins are about to pop out of your head and be wrong, it's not worth it.
It's like, what do you say after that? What's his response?
I don't even give a shit. It's not worth it.
Here's the thing. Like, we all know most of us should know that. Guys, it's not a coincidence that it's a debate show, so every single topic they talk about, one guy's on this side, one guy's on the other. Right?
Good cop, bad cop. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, so this is almost like a, before the show even starts, pre-show, prep. They've got to find reasons to be on this side, they've got to find reasons to be on that side. Otherwise, it'd be 80% agreeing and 20% disagreeing. So we all know that, again, end of the day, this is entertainment, right? It is entertainment. 100% entertainment. We all know we all hate Skip. Why? Because he goes against the grain. To the point where, and he probably didn't believe himself at first, but he said he doesn't like LeBron or these weird things so much that he's starting to believe it now, right? Sometimes the delusion takes over and it becomes, a reality, right? So, but you're right though, the OGs are the OGs, right? Stephen A, Skip, Max, they're where they are now. Now it's more of like you said, it's more of an organic feel. I might still disagree with you. I'm not saying you can't disagree with somebody. Like, if you were to say, hey, man, I disagree. I think if it hits Conferto's elbow, his padding, it should be a ball for it. I'm like, nope, I totally disagree. And I'll tell you why. But it's genuine. It's organic.
They sound forced. But the reason why they sound forced, LeVon, is because he's catering to his audience. And I'm going to explain this, right? Let's just be honest. You tell me, and I'm all for his improvement as an individual. Skip sits there, he has Shannon on the show, starts working out, wearing Jordans, black shirt, gold chain. Wait a minute, where is this from? You want to know where it's coming from? Because that's what Shannon's audience likes to see. They like to see Jordan. They like to see, gold chains. So Skip is not stupid. Skip is like, wait a minute, I got this guy coming on. He's doing a thing. I'm happy for him. He's bringing a certain audience in the show, the people that like the yak, the Black and Miles, whatever. I got to be a little bit relatable to them too, so I got to get with it. Let me get my drip on. Let me start figuring things out. How can I cater to some of that audience, but still cater to my audience as well? So I admire what he's doing. It's just not real.
Hey, man, like I said, entertainment, go get the bag, plain and simple. And the thing is, as you can see, Skip is Skip, but at the same time, he's also throwing in some flavor too. Skip got his little chain out, his little iced out little Skip chain. Skip does little hip. I it's been a long time since I've seen the show, but I mean, they're doing what they need to do to capture audiences, to piss them off. They're hitting all angles that they need to hit. They're hitting every single spot, covering all their A's, dotting all their T's and crossing all their I's, if you will.
Like let's be honest. I haven't watched their show in God knows how long. I literally just see whatever I see on Instagram. But if I watch their shows, you ready? I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, without even fucking seeing their show. You ready? In basketball, KD, LeBron, and number 2 because he doesn't call him Kawhi Leonard, right? In football, the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Brady. And that's fucking about it. They don't talk about anything else. They don't talk about anything else on that show. It's the same. The producer is literally recycling the same fucking garbage all the time.
Yeah, and they gotta find different ways to spin it. That's all. So, it's...
How many times are you gonna have comparisons to shit you can't prove? How many times are you gonna talk about LeBron being the best and Michael Jordan being the best? Yo, shut the fuck up. No one cares. No one cares. Let's just enjoy what's in front of us and that's it.
They gotta milk it. They gotta milk it for what it is. They gotta milk it.
Ain't no more fucking milk in the fucking cow. Like, there's no more. You dry the shit out. Everybody drinks almond milk now. No one gives a fuck about the milk that's inside the fucking cow anymore. Fucking milk companies are suing almond milk for calling almond milk milk because it's hurting their bottom line. No one cares.
It is what it is, man.
To me, sports debating is dead. The OGs are doing it. Shout out to them. They're gonna keep doing it, and after that, it's a wrap. Because you got people that literally are sitting there, they're coming out and they're doing it new ways. You got, Pat and the boys. They don't fucking debate. They don't debate. They're a bunch of fucking potheads that have a fucking talk show and have fun with their friends and they gamble and they bet and they speak about shit that normal people talk about. That's why people enjoy it.
Yep, exactly. That's it's organic. They're kicking it. They do I guess Pat figured, no, we already do this, over here. Now we can't do this on ESPN or Fox, so let's find a network or a company that's gonna condone what we do and
just put fucking cameras in front of us.
I mean, they were it's not a sports podcast, but like $1 million worth of game. I mean, they do it on Instagram. People want more. Okay, well, hey, Barstool. Hey, come on. Now the number one podcast in his genre, whatever it is, right? In his, whatever category.
That's their lane. That's their lane.
That's their lane, right? Just figure it out. Be organic. Be real. Be transparent. And people pick up on that. So.
Yeah, it's better. It's better that way. It's better just to keep it, organic and real. So it was a couple of NFL things that we wanted to discuss, Levon. I know that and it's kind of funny. My son before the show started was playing Fortnite with his buddy, and I asked his buddy who's a Jet fan. I said, "Who are we picking number 2 with the number 2 overall pick?" He said, "We're picking Zach Wilson." I said, "This kid, he's only 12 and he know who the fuck we're getting." So,
that's crazy.
So the New York Jets trade Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a bunch of picks, and Carolina's actually allowed Teddy Bridgewater out of respect and his agency to try to seek a trade to somewhere, and they'll facilitate it in some way, shape, or form because they just want to do the right thing by Teddy. So tell me how you feel about the trade. Tell me how you feel where you think Teddy should go.
My question is Teddy that bad? Is Teddy that much worse? Or, sorry, maybe shouldn't have asked it that way. Is Sam Darnold that much better than Teddy Bridgewater?
He's younger. A lot.
Yes, man.
He's a lot younger.
I mean, but Sam's got I don't know how many times I can say this. This is Sam's last chance. It is what it is, man. I mean,
I think that's different. I don't think that's true because of the fact that people in the league know Sam can play. He just had fucking slap dick to work with. So, and with the coach coming out saying I did a piss poor job of developing him, I think it even buys Sam more fucking time to sit there and say, look, what did we surround him with? He didn't even have a first round draft pick playmaker. Like, at least with the Giants, you got Saquon, they had Odell at the time, Shepard, Slayton. They were bringing in players, Ingram. They were bringing in players to be able to compete or help Danny Dimes or whatever it may be, Daniel Jones.
No, Danny's on the clock too. Well, the offense he got, he's on the clock.
Sam didn't have none of that shit. Sam had a kid that was literally down here in Fort Lauderdale trying to outrun the cops, Robbie Anderson. That was it. He didn't have anybody fucking else.
He got Robbie again now, so he needs to run some more cops. Right? But he's got. Look, man, you got arguably the best, if not a top 3 running back in the league, and not only does he run the rock, he catches the rock better than anybody.
That's one badass wipe. That boy is so bad, man. He's so good.
Yeah. So and you got some receivers too. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it done. Let's show something. Not get it done. I want to be strong. Let's get in the playoffs, man. You need to get in the playoffs. This is year what, number 4?
This is year 4. I think this is actually going to be year 5 for him. Where does I think it's 5 for him. Where does he actually end up going, Teddy Bridgewater? If you had to pick a team.
Okay, maybe I'm. Who did the Saints have as is Winston starting for them?
Yeah, Mr. I steal crab legs from Publix.
Yeah, he might. I mean, I have not heard that word, but he might just end back. I mean, they need a backup. Well, never mind. They have what's his name? The tight end slash.
Hill. Taysom Hill.
Yeah, so right now I can't tell you where to go. I have no idea. New Orleans would sound fun, but I mean you never know. Winston might do something stupid, like he's prone to do, and Teddy might end up over there. But I don't know where he ends up. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even think he's a thing. He's gonna end up being the second or third string, and because Teddy's just Teddy. He's a great guy. He'll come in and do the job, and that's really. Even though he does have a great winning percentage as a quarterback, I mean. He's pretty efficient. But
I don't really see a landing spot for him in all actuality. I really don't. I mean, even if Deshaun and everything that he's going through, even if he ends up on the commissioner's exempt list because of all of this, they already have Tyrod Taylor. So I don't really see a place for Teddy Bridgewater unless he takes up a backup role. I mean, the Bears have the red rifle, and the backup is Nick Foles.
Yeah. Let's be clear. This guy's not starting. This guy's not going anywhere to start, right? He's not going anywhere to start. He's already got the bag. I think he got paid $20 million or $40 million for 2 years, so $20 million each year. He's got the bag already, so he's fine in that regard. But he's not going anywhere to start. And if he does, I don't like it. But again, any given Sunday or Sundays or whatever. But he's not a playoff quarterback.
Yeah, hopefully they can figure it out. Teddy's a good guy. We appreciate everything that he's done. He's from down here in South Florida. He does a lot with the community as well. So we respect Teddy. Hopefully you end up somewhere where you get a chance, an opportunity to showcase your skills because we root for you down here. So LeVon, that's going to conclude episode 123 of the EAC Show. Make sure you click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. The engagement on social media, I appreciate it so much. The laughter, the reels are doing really good. Twitter's fucking them. Twitter's a wormhole. I've been doing some stuff on Twitter, LeVon, and that shit, you could get fucking trapped in there at 2, 3, 4 in the morning on some ridiculous shit. So Twitter's a wormhole, but please, the engagement is so appreciated, and we'll definitely check you guys out. Episode 124. LeVon, I appreciate you, buddy.
No problem, man.
Take care.
Yeah.